that subscribe, like, and share if you haven't already. And next we're going to see a few things Cam Higby had to say.
Charlie Kirk wasn't shot with a 30-06. He was shot with something else. The FBI was just, in their cover-up process, they just thought everybody would buy it, that it would all make sense. It's idiotic. It makes no sense.
Cam makes a compelling observation, one that may have gone unnoticed even to him at the time. It prompts us to reflect more deeply on the subject. A critical question. Let's consider this. Has the government ever been known to conceal information or cover up events in the past? Implications. This question encourages us to think critically about government transparency and the historical context of information disclosure. By examining past actions, we can better understand current events and the potential for similar situations to arise.
And there's this whole thing now about, if this was a 30-06, it would have just blown his head off. It would have just, his neck wouldn't have even, been attached anymore. It would have pink mist everywhere. It's just not how this round works. I mean, in most cases, like it depends on the grain, and it depends on the specific bullet and the manufacturer and stuff like that. It depends on the conditions, it depends on the angle, it depends on a lot of different factors. But generally, this is not how this bullet works. Like, it's not a hollow point.
Let's remember this soon-to-be contradiction about hollow points in our opinion.
This is meant to expand inside of your body. It's a self-defense round that is intentionally produced to do as much damage as possible. Okay? So, when this goes into you, it will expand and intentionally cause as much damage as possible. Because it is a self-defense round. Whereas, like a standard 30-06 round that is intended for hunting, and that's what Charlie Kirk was shot with, was a hunting rifle, they're intentionally designed to not do damage.
Well now, isn't that interesting? And he's right, a hollow point is designed to do massive damage and not continue to the mass and exit. Very good point to consider if we want to accept CK was shot with a 30-06.
It's like just another thing to like get the Jews or to blame whoever you're personally, not happy with at the time. Oh, well, I think it was Turning Point because I don't like Turning Point. Oh, I think it was the Jews because I don't like the Jews. Okay, shut the fuck up. Without her husband. And every wild and rabid conspiracy that you come up with is another potential reason for a juror to not find Tyler Robinson guilty beyond a reasonable doubt when it is possible that he could be. And I'm not saying that Tyler Robinson is 100% in a foolproof manner definitely the person who killed Charlie Kirk. I'm not saying there couldn't possibly be anybody else involved. I do think that Tyler Robinson is the person who killed Charlie Kirk. But I'm not saying that I'm not open to the possibility that they got the wrong guy.
If this is the case, why should Candace or anyone else not be asking questions then is what we'd ask.
But what I am saying is stop brainwashing yourself that it's impossible for it to be Tyler Robinson. Stop brainwashing everybody else that it's impossible for it to be Tyler Robinson. Because while you convince yourself that it's impossible for Tyler Robinson to have killed Charlie Kirk, Tyler Robinson is in court laughing because he knows that with every conspiracy theory, there is a higher likelihood that he walks free.
Actually, several people have said they're not against the idea of Tyler Robinson doing this. What they're against is he acted alone at minimal, and we agree Tyler was acting very relaxed as we watched the hearing, and we're not saying if he's guilty or not. But if he thinks he's not, maybe that's why he acted so relaxed. Just a thought.
And now because of the wild ramblings of one woman, it's all been undone, and we are left worse than we were before. We are in a state currently that is worse than we were prior to Charlie's death. In terms of division, in terms of the movement being totally split. I mean, we had our problems before Charlie got killed, especially related to geopolitics, and it was dividing us really bad, and it was really complicated, and it was tough. But it's worse now. It's way worse. I mean, the anti-Semites can't even stick together anymore. I mean, look, you got Ian Carroll and Nick Fuentes fighting. How does that happen? They are like ideologically two peas in a pod. Now, albeit Ian Carroll's a lot dumber than Nick. Him and his Domino's pizza. But I mean, we are just fractured.
Now, is it just us, or doesn't this sound a bit more like someone that is more worried about politics and the midterms like Tim Pool referenced to versus seeking the truth about CK?
The overwhelming majority of people are not getting paid by Israel. Actually, I don't think anybody, I don't know if anybody's getting paid by Israel, and I'm exactly the person who would know about that. Okay? I don't know a single person who's been offered to be paid by Israel. I don't know about the Qatar side. Okay? Because I'm not familiar with the pro-Qatar people. It really, fundamentally, it doesn't matter if they're being paid by a foreign government or not. It really doesn't. If they're actually being paid by a foreign government, you still have to contend with what they're saying. You still have to prove them wrong. So just knock it off. Just knock it off. It's so annoying. It's so anti-intellectual. It's such a cop-out. Every time, whether it's people on my side or people on the opposite side, they disagree with somebody. You're a paid chill. Shut up. That's not an argument. Prove them wrong. If you don't prove them wrong and you just say you're a paid shill, okay, now you're empowering them. Now it's obvious to everyone else around you that you're copping out. And their argument just looks more right. Argue against them. The cheap, attempts to discredit people, it just doesn't work. It just doesn't work.
Okay, so why do Candace's finances keep being brought up? And let's not lose sight of the amount of money TPSU has and continues to make. So on one hand, they say it's not relevant, yet on the other hand, they try to make it relevant. Confusing.
Here's Candace Owens saying that Erica doesn't get to be the widowed CEO of Turning Point.
Well, now you're going to have to prove that you have the ability to be a CEO and a chairman, and not just a wife who we expect emotion from. And you're rightful in that capacity. You are rightful to have emotion. You are rightful to be the aggrieved widow, but you don't get to just be widowed into the position of chairman and CEO. You don't get to respond.
Let's run that back.
Well, now you're going to have to prove that you have the ability to be a CEO and a chairman, and not just a wife who we expect emotion from. And you're rightful in that capacity. You are rightful to have emotion. You are rightful to be the aggrieved widow, but you don't get to just be widowed into the position of chairman and CEO. You don't get to respond to, well, in this case, investors, donors who have given money and are asking meaningful questions with, no, you don't get replies right now because this is the Charlie Kirk show, fam. Doesn't work.
Yeah, actually, she doesn't. So actually, Erica Kirk doesn't have to prove that to you. You're not a part of Turning Point USA. You're not a Turning Point shareholder. You're not on the board. You're not an employee. You're not even on the website. You're not associated with them in any way, shape, or form other than the person lighting the match that burns their crops to the ground. You are nothing. Who is Erica Kirk? Erica Kirk is the widowed bride of Charlie Kirk, the founder, CEO, and face of Turning Point USA. He left that company to her. She is the person that he chose. You have no say in it. You are nobody in this conversation. You are nobody to the future of Turning Point. Nobody. Nobody. Erica Kirk does not have to, how'd she put it?
Donors who have given money and are asking meaningful questions with, no, you don't get replies right now because this is the Charlie Kirk show, fam. Doesn't work this way, okay? Widow, but you don't get to just be widowed into the position of chairman and CEO.
Actually, again, she does. She does get to be just widowed into the position of chairman and CEO of Turning Point. She actually does. And that's actually exactly what happened. Sorry, Candace. Not your call. Not your call.
Okay, I'm glad Cam replayed this, as what we heard was not Candace saying that Ike owed her an answer, but that she more so owed the investors and shareholders answers in relations to finances, which we'd have to agree. All right, a lot to think about, we know, and this case just keeps getting stranger, it seems, by the day. We just hope some questions will be answered soon, and that peace and resolution can follow. Let us know in the comments what your thoughts are on this. Welcome to the Inner Circle. This isn't just a membership, it's a mission. You're supporting forensic truth, mythic blends, and ceremonial broadcasts that honor every moment. Members unlock exclusive enhancements, behind-the-scenes alerts, and direct access to the pulse of Timescape news and leading sponsor, Gold Rush Fever Specialty Coffee. Join us and help shape the signal. We thank you, and as always, stay safe. That's the latest from Timescape News. We're live, we're watching, we thank you. Subscribe, like, share, and ring the bell so you don't miss what breaks next. Stay with us. We appreciate you, and as always, be safe.